Hey guys, happy Tuesday. We'll be kicking off. Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Good morning to you. Welcome to Psych Candy for, what are we at? We're at October 11th. October 11th. I think the beginning of this month has kind of flown by, at least on my end. It has. But I'm good with that. I love this month. I do. Hope you guys are doing great. Shauna, Chris, Deanna, great to see you guys. Everybody watching out in other platforms, welcome as well. We value our friends, don't we? We do. We value our friends. In a lot of situations, too, our friends, and for some people, our friends become like our family. They become like our mainstay. That's who is in our life. Day-to-day basis, that's our support system. It's the people we enjoy going and hanging with. It's the people we call when we're going through a hard time. Friends are important. I've shared this before in other shows, like, my mom and grandmother and stuff like that. They've already passed away, so I have one sister that lives overseas, and so my friends become my family. Now, here's the thing: are your friends really your friends? Seems like a stupid question, right? Like, well, of course, if I'm calling them my friend, then they're my friend. But are they really your friend? Now, the thing is that most people think if they're my friend, they consider me their friend too. It's all reciprocal, right? But there's been so many studies on this. There's been studies about how we interact with people, how we form those dynamics, how we do all those things. And these studies, though, find that only about half of the people we consider to be a friend actually consider us to be their friend too. that that kind of bites your ass a little bit, doesn't it? Elizabeth, welcome, and Jen, welcome. So here's the thing. Now, evidently, our instincts, our perceptions, our intuitions, based on some of these studies, they're way, way off the mark. And it turns out that, we're maybe kind of bad at judging friends sometimes. This research that was done, and I'm going to share a little bit about this because it's important to understand this. So, and this was not done just by some random third party group. This is like main course scientist, MIT, so forth. Graciela, welcome. But when they collaborated to do this, okay, and they brought in contributors from all over the place. This was done in the United States, Europe, Middle East, all of that, right? And the finding was, or at least what they found, we can't really just ignore it because it kind of sadly, it makes sense. But here is the thing, is that in contrast to like the people that participated in this research study, everybody's expectations were really high, okay? And in contrast to those expectations, they found that the level of reciprocity was as low as 35%. And they ended up kind of balancing it out to 50% overall. Now, let me explain in different terms what this showed. It showed that we believe in our friendships so highly, and we believe in that reciprocity. But it was way lower than what we actually believe. Because who wants to believe that our friends aren't really our friends, right? And the thing is that this also kind of developed kind of this little algorithm that they use from this, okay, based on objective factors to predict mutual friendships. So now, unlike the participants, the algorithm was able to kind of predict with a high level of accuracy not only whether a friendship was two-sided, but also in situations where it was not, which person was mistaken about the relationship. Now, and we have so many different aspects. We have so many different aspects of what we are gauging about. What we're gauging about our friendships, what we expect, what are we calculating, our besties, our close people, our acquaintances, and all these kind of things. Well, it all matters because when we really look at it, sometimes we are developing or forming friendships that really aren't reciprocal. And what that means is you're sitting here putting in everything that you want, everything you feel towards something, but you're not getting that back. You're getting back a much lower percentage, but sometimes we overlook that. Now, let's take that. And is there kind of like a silver lining to this equation? There is. Like, first, maybe we can take solace in the fact that maybe the data that they pulled up showed a range of results, right? Meaning that some people have more authentic friendships than others. So let's all bank on being in that group, right? That we're more authentic. Always feels good to be above the curve, right? And there's a host of those who simply keep people around as a resource. Well, guys, screw that. Don't keep people around as a resource. I don't want to simply be a resource for somebody. If I'm just your resource, then let's just go back to just being acquaintances and we'll just move on from there, Secondly, maybe this knowledge will drive us to pay more attention to our friendships, doing what we can to have that authentic, balanced relationships. We can concentrate on listening more, asking more questions, staying more involved in our friends' lives. The people that are in my life, I want to be around them. I want to do things. I want to share in experiences and moments, and all these kind of things. And I want to be able to do that with them. And when I meet with people, I want to be able to ask, how are you? And I mean it. And when they ask me how I am, they mean it. It's not just one-sided. And sadly, that's what happens in a lot of places. It becomes just very one-sided. Third thing is maybe we can use, some of this education to dump those people that we think of as friends, but suspect that they don't feel the same way about us. Meaning, there's no and nothing reciprocal. Let's ditch all those frenemies. You know what a frenemy is? Yeah. Seems to provide us with a constant stream of pointless jabs, backhanded compliments, competitive comparisons, drama, fake praise, fake encouragement. Who needs that? That is draining at its very most. It's draining. It's demeaning. It's degrading. It's disrespectful to you as a person. Why do we want to have fake in our life? Fake does drain. Fake brings down your spirit, your energy. Fake also drains maybe the authentic side of what you're bringing into something. You know, deep down we know how some of our friends would answer that question of, are we, of the friendship. And we might as well make it, make it reciprocal, not being friends. I mean, I've watched people realize the shitty people that's in their lives and acknowledge that they see the bad and negative and yet still do nothing but keep them around and complain to everybody else about these people that are still in our eyes. Guys, it's time to hush on that one. If you want to do that, then you do that. But go ahead. You choose that, and then you're going to just enjoy your misery since you chose to do nothing about it, because you're choosing to keep these fake people and non-relationships in your life and pretend that it's something that it's not. There's nothing healthy in that. Nothing. Maybe we can try to be maybe a little scientific about our choosing our friends. We should focus on friendships with people whose maybe social circles overlap, ours to a degree, or who have a comparable, social status to ours, enjoy the same things, all that. That would weigh in favor of maybe the neighbor who's always working in the yard and also goes to your gym, In other words, look for moments. Spend less energy on the people that maybe you met, on the plane or behind a large general that lives across the country, or your boss's wife, right? And what I mean by that, I joke a little bit, but my point is that we have to start building a basis of what am I allowing into my world and how important are my friends? And when I call somebody a friend, and this is a whole show on its own that we'll probably get into this week, but what is your friendship value system? We have our acquaintances, we have our our work people, our work colleagues, we have our close friends, we have our best friends, we have all of these things. But when we really look at it, how many people are in your world that you really truly you trust them? They're reciprocal. They actually bring something positive into your life. You bring something positive in their life. It is fully and honestly reciprocal. How many people can you say that about? And how many times have you heard people like, oh, I can count on one hand, people in my close circle. And you know what? That's about accurate. That's about how many people can say. I don't see anybody throwing up both hands and their feet being like, oh, I got this many. Doesn't work that way. Do you know why? Because it's rare. Especially these days, it's rare. I really do. I can count on one hand the number of people that I call a friend. And then the people that I call a best friend, my closest confidant. I have three. And most times we're scattered all over the place, all over the planet. But you know what? Those are the people that are there for me no matter what. And I'm there for them no matter what. When we have those people, they become part of our family. They become part of our heart. But see, fake friendships, they're not going to have that for you. It's not going to be there for you. It's not the same way. A lot of times those fake friends, you better believe that they want you to be around. You better be available when they need you. And if you're not, oh my God, what a lousy friend you are. Do you see what I mean? That's that non-reciprocal crap I'm talking about. Where, yeah, you better be there for them. But when it comes time that you need them, oh, they're too busy. Oh, they had too much going on. They can't help you right now. They can't be there for you. Or they just don't want to listen because it doesn't concern them. Fake and real. And there's too much fake in the world. People are utilizing too much of a negative just base of what their foundation is, what their core values are, how we value each other, how we treat each other. It's gotten shitty. That scale is getting shitty. Mindsets just get shitty. And the more you do that, and the more you allow those kind of people to stay in your life, you're building that as your value system. It can cause your value system to start getting askew, to start getting off center, to where, what are we saying? What are we doing? Elizabeth says on the back end, I'd rather have a few real friends than a lot of fake friends. You better believe it. You better believe it. Hey, Mark. How are you, man? But and that's true. Believe me, I want real, man. I've been through plenty of friendships that I cut off because it had just drained me out. There was no actual happy or loving connect there. It was just kind of a use thing, And I've been used plenty in my life. I'm not going to have that with the people I'm calling my friend. The people that I want to spend my time with, share holidays with, share celebrations with, sometimes share grief with. That's going to be somebody that actually does reciprocate. It's going to be somebody that does those things. Gracie Ellis said that her BFF is spirit. And I love that. And it brings up a really good point, too, that, yeah, your most closest person and confidant should be your spirit, yourself, the better energies of this world, Guys, we've all heard all of these little statements before, everybody throws it out in all kinds of different ways, that life's too short, all this stuff. Let me tell you something. Life is too short. I mean, this is your life. Well, why do we want to spend time in our life pouring ourselves out into people that don't appreciate it, don't want it, use it, abuse it, trash it, don't reciprocate? Why? I don't want that in my life. I'm 52 years old, and I can guarantee you that I want to spend the rest of my life with people that matter in my world, and with people that feel like that I matter to them. And if I don't, and if they don't, well, move along. Go find other people then to attach to that better serve you, because I want the real. I don't want fake. I don't want pretend. I don't want a pretend friendship. I can make up my own. My pretend friend is going to be that crazy motherfucking unicorn in the kitchen. That I'll give it a name and we can talk. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll just make up my own fake friend, and I guarantee you that fake friend still will probably be more solid than some of the people I've had to cut loose in my life. But guys, seriously, this is a time that, really look. I mean, we talk about this all the time. I mean, I had somebody tell me last week, honestly, and I know them. I mean, I know them in real life, and they listen to a lot of shows and stuff. They say, man, you kind of beat this toxic stuff to death. I was like, well, you're right. I do. And I'm going to tell you why I do. Because sometimes we need to hear things over and over and over and over and over again before it finally sinks in. I do talk about toxic a lot. I talk about toxic relationships a lot. And I do that a lot I talk about it with a lot of my patients. And sometimes when it gets to the point where I'm having the same conversation for the third time, I make it very aware. I bring it up and I say, hey, guess what? We've discussed this now 3 times. And you've come to me. You've complained. I hear you out. We're doing our thing. But guess what? Now it's time for you to actually either do something or shut up. And people are like, oh my God, that's so rude. No, it's not. It means shit or get off the pot. You know? You ever heard that phrase? That's what it means. Because it means that, are you going to keep just holding on to this? Because why? Because you want to keep complaining about it? Let me tell you something. That sympathy train is going to reach its destination at some point, and it ain't going to other stops. Meaning, all the other people around you that are genuine and that are not toxic, and the more they hear you complaining about it over and over again, and you're not doing anything about it, guess what? They don't want to hear it anymore. They're not going to be really listening to you anymore because, well, it's just over and over again. It's constant. Yeah, because you're not doing anything because you've built this as a pattern. So, yes, I beat certain things into the ground sometimes. Get rid of toxic people. Get rid of the things that do not serve you anymore. Get rid of the things that bring you down. Get rid of the things that demean you, degrade you, abuse you. Get rid of it. Say no more. Make a line, draw a line in the sand, man, for yourself. And then do something about it. And I can tell you something. Your world will change. Your energy will change. Your happiness will change. The love you have for yourself will change. You will start to elevate upward, 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 because you are regaining a different value system for where you want to be, who you want to be around, and the type of person that you are. The type of friend that you want to be. The type of friend. Crispin on the back end, we used to say fish or cut bait. I like that. Fish or cut bait. I mean, guys, listen, it's not that hard to gain a principle about where you want to be because everybody can say it. If I sat down with every single one of you that's in this room right now, if I sat down with Chris, Elizabeth, Deanna, Graciela, Mark, Jen, any of you, if I sat down and was like, do you want solid friends in your life? Yeah, I do. Do you want to be a good friend to the friends in your life? Absolutely. Do you want those friends to give you the same thing back? Yeah. Okay, then why do you still have these friends over here that are not friends? Why are you still calling Jane Doe and Susie Q your friend when all they do is drain you out, use you, and abuse you? And some people, when I ask that question, they don't know how to answer because they don't have that figured out yet. Why are you doing that? Well, I don't know. Well, Susie Q, she's just I've known her since high school. That's just who she is. It's just what she is. She can just be difficult sometimes. Is that what it is? Or is she just a non-reciprocal person that really isn't giving anything into that friendship except for you being there for her? I mean, guys, these are just all things to think about because we've all been through enough. We deal with enough. We go through our own personal crap. We go through our life struggles. We go through all these things and we have to live our life, right? And so does everybody else. That's just how it is. But let's start building and having what we have that's going to be valuable to us that we're able to carry with us and build something of substantial nature. You know? Like we want to build something. Elizabeth said on the back end, my solid friendship is with God. There you go. Now that is a true friend. And see, when we can connect to that, connect to God, whoever your God is, connect to that. Connect to your spirit, like Graciela said. Connect to those things because when you do that, that is going to help you form that better, more valuable system. You know? It's going to help you excel. It's going to help you bring about that different positioning, that different scale system that you're going to use. You know, I had a conversation. So, as a matter of fact, I'll put her on the spot a little bit, but I know Deanna. I know Deanna in the real world, and we met and we became friends. And the thing is that we've shared time together and conversations together, and it's nice. And now she lives in a different state than me and so forth. But you know what we did though? We formed friendship, and we actually have discussed that friendship. And the thing is that it's reciprocal. It's reciprocal. Like, so I know that I can look down and I say, Deanna, she is a friend, and I know that she can say that about me. Well, that's value. I've had conversations with Graciela. We've done shows before. Is are we have we reached best friendy status? No, but I respect and value Graciela, and we're friends. And you know what? I know that whenever we speak, it is coming from a pure good place both ways. Well, guess what? That's the value system. That's that positive scale we look for. That's why we want those things, because we look for the positive, that feel good energy. You know. See, that is one thing. I can sit and talk to Graciela, and I know when I talk to her, man, she's pouring out just good energy, and I get to receive that. But I'm also trying to send that right back to her, so it's reciprocal. That's reciprocal. Now, if I were to speak to Graciela and she's just constantly just a drain, 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 and there's not anything coming back, well, then no. Then guess what? She would probably stay a very distant fireside acquaintance, and we'll leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? We have to gauge those things. And see, a lot of times people will ignore that because they're like, well, I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be rude about it. Like, so, I just kind of go along with it. Stop going along with it. Stop making excuses to leave toxic people in your life. I'm telling you right now, because that's not going to be okay. Chris Chris said on the back end, we're online friends. Less filling, tastes great. I like that, Chris. But yeah, guys. I love that, man. But yeah, there you go. I want my friendships to be finger licking good, man. Really do. And here's the thing too. And then I'm going to close out with this. But listen. We talk about all these things. We talk about relationships, friends, understanding negatives and toxicities and all these things. But the most important thing that you need to really understand is, again, it does start with you. So rebuild, regain, re-understand the relationship and the friendship that you have with yourself. And here's the one. Here's the one that can cause some of you to kind of tilt sideways. Is the relationship you have with yourself fake? Or is it real? Are you living in a dreamland? Have you created that unicorn in the kitchen that is fake, and now you're basing all of your stuff on that fake principle? Because if that's the case, you need to take a step backwards. Take a breath. You need to reevaluate what is that position you have within yourself, because then that's what helps you learn, what am I going to project into my current friendships, into new friendships. Example again, if I'd met Graciela and I'm just going to present just a load of just fake bullshit, guess what? That's what she's going to receive. And you know what? I may not get a full-on, open, vulnerable state of meeting a new friend from Graciela. Why? Because her spirit is going to detect that bullshit if she's attuned to herself first. Does that make sense? So we want to get attuned to ourselves, because that's what helps our intuition, our gut, our subconscious connect with the conscious. That's what helps us make positive, healthy, good choices, because we're listening to spirit. We're listening. We're aware. Let me tell you something. I feel that I had this anyway early on, but again, after being in psychology for 27 years, let me tell you something. My bullshit radar is on point. And so whenever I have people coming at me that way, I'm very blunt and direct anyway. I will shut it down right instantly. I'll be like, all right, you got two choices. You either cut the bullshit, be honest, or I don't want any part of it. That's it. It's only two choices. And I don't feel bad for doing that, because I'm not going to lower myself or my standards because somebody else wants to operate in a fake, negative, bullshit environment. So think about that. What is yours? What is yours? Is your BS radar working? Does it need to get? Do you need to go to the repair shop? You know, and really think about how that is. Thank you, Graciela. But no, I do. I get passionate about certain topics, and you know, Graciela said I was on fire today. I'm just, I really believe in what I'm telling you, and I try to live in what I'm telling you. Do I fail sometimes? Absolutely. I make mistakes. I've made bad choices with friendships in the past, but I try to learn from them. But I can say this, and I shared this before. At the beginning of 2022, whoo, buddy, I cleaned house. I mean, I cleaned house in such a manner that I had some of the negative people that I cut off hit me back and say, "What did I do?" Well, wrong question, because you're going to get your answer. And I laid out exactly what they did, and guess what? Crickets. Nothing came back. No response. No apologies. No, like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Hey, Trinity, I value you as a friend, man. I'm sorry I made you feel that way, or I'm sorry I did this, or sorry I did that." Nothing. And guess what? Assurance, my friend. I had reassurance that I made the right choice, and I felt liberated and free because of that choice. Listen, when you finally take that step and you close that door and you get rid of those toxic ties, those toxic attachments, you will feel liberated. You will feel free. You will feel a different surge of energy. You're like, wow, okay, wait a minute. This is good. Listen, guys, I want my happy. I want my happy. Now, I love my job and I love what I do and I love helping people. But I'm also a human being too, and so I deal with a lot of negative and depression in other people's lives. So when I'm dealing with anything in mine, you better believe that I want to have a solid foundation of solid people around me that are going to give me happiness, love, respect, trust, loyalty, all of those things, because that's what I'm going to give right back. And that's what's going to build me up, keep my battery charged, keep me fueled up so I can continue to be who I am as a person and continue to help other people and continue to pour out. And that's what I want for all of you. You know, Chris does his show every day, the antidepressant of the day. Let me tell you something. If Chris was connected and tied to negativity, toxicity, people that drain him out, make him feel depressed, make him feel low, make him feel just he doesn't really have anything there, but he's like, "Oh my God, it's 11:30. All right, I got to go and do my show." And he goes and he does his show. Let me tell you how receptive people are going to be when they listen to that show. Not very, because Chris would be drained out. That fire would be a little dim. There might be a little flicker down there. He's doing his show, but is his heart behind it? Is Chris behind it? I don't want to listen to Chris's show if Chris is not in the show. If Chris isn't bringing Chris, then something's up. So we got to step back sometimes. I've canceled shows sometimes. I've had shows canceled or planned on here. And sometimes it's canceled for work, but sometimes I'll cancel shows. Like, you know what? I'm having a rough day and my energy is not in it right now, and I am not going to bring that to people that listen to me. And that's why sometimes my show just boop off the radar, or I'll move it to a different day or something, because it matters what we choose and how we choose it. We're going to pour something out of ourselves. So that's why it's very important that we keep track and understand, what do I have connected to myself right now, and what's serving me and what's not? What's toxic? What's good? What's elevating me? What is regressing me? What is building my happy, or what is depressing me? We have to establish those things so we can work on it and resolve it, so we can be at the highest level that we need to be. We can be the best version of ourselves that we want to be, and continue to go on. Even when we make those bad choices, even when we make those mistakes, we are still on fire for ourselves, and we still have that relationship with ourselves that is ours and positive and healthy. No fakeness, just real. No bullshit, just authenticity. That is what I want. And that's what I want for all of you. So just seek the authenticity, reciprocity in all of your relationships, beginning with yourself. beginning with yourself. Well, guys, I appreciate and value all of you very much. And I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you, Graciela. Thank you, Deanna. Thank you, Elizabeth, Chris, Nikki, Mark, Jen, Shauna. Guys, listen, I'm sending you all out. Much love, much light, much clarity in your world, clarity in your life, clarity in yourself to aim higher, ditch the fake, own the real, embrace the real, and always continue to be the real you. And I leave you with that, guys. Have a blessed and amazing rest of your Tuesday. I hope your week is going awesome. And I will see you guys tomorrow right here at 11:30 a.m. And until then, guys, be blessed, be happy, be healthy, and most importantly, be you. Cheers.